Good morning, grade 7s, and welcome to lesson 2, part 1. In today's lesson, we will be going through simplifying fractions, so this will be a very short video, and in the next lesson, we will continue with equivalent fractions. If you have a look at your lesson 2 notes, I have given you a section on simplifying fractions. So it says here, when simplifying fractions, we need to find a number that can go into both the numerator and the denominator. Very important. It needs to be able to go into both. And this number is called the highest common factor, or the HCF. We then divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number and keep repeating these steps until the fraction cannot be simplified anymore. Alright, so when we've got our numerator and our denominator, in order to simplify, we are looking for a number, a highest common factor, that can go into both. Obviously, you cannot have a remainder with fractions. So if we have a look at the first example here, you'll see the fraction given to you is 12 over 14. So I've said that one of the numbers, or a number that can go into 12 and 14, is 2. Alright, they're both even numbers, so we know 2 can go into both. So remember with fractions, what you do on the top, you need to do on the bottom. So 12 divided by 2 is equal to 6. 14 divided by 2 is equal to 7. Now you ask yourself again, is there a number that I can divide into 6 and 7 to simplify it more? Your answer should be no. There is no number that goes into 6 and 7 besides 1, but 1 is not going to help us because if you divide a number by 1, it gives you the same number. Alright, so we are done with number 1. If you look at number 2, we've got 50 over 75. Now with this one, the first number that came to mind was 5 because we know 5 can go into 50 and 75. So let's divide them. We say 50 divided by 5 is 10. In other words, 5 goes into 50 10 times. And 5 goes into 75 15 times. Now if we look at the number 10 and 15, that is not in its simplest form. There is still a 5 that can go into both of them. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So my simplified answer is 2 over 3. You need to keep simplifying as far as you can until it is simplified fully. You can't stop over here and say it's simplified because you can still simplify it again. So whether it takes 3 steps or 5 steps, you need to keep going until you can't simplify anymore. Now with an example like this, we could have done a shorter method. Instead of dividing by 5, we could have just divided by 25. Alright? Because 25 goes into 50 2 times. 25 goes into 75 3 times. So straight away we would have jumped right to the end. So with the highest common factor, the larger the number, the fewer the steps. So if you're going to keep dividing by 2s and 3s, you're going to have a few more steps, but you will get to the same answer. So for number 3 and 4, quickly pause this video, simplify those fractions as much as possible, and then press play when you are ready to see the answers. Okay, let's go through the answers for question 3. So if we look at 3, we've got 4 over 16. Now straight away you should know either 2 or 4 can go into it. So let's do divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Now obviously there's no number that can go into 1 and 4, so we have simplified fully. The other way of doing it, like I did here, I divided it by 2. So I said 4 divided by 2 is 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Now I need to repeat that step because 2 and 8, 2 can still go into both of them. So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 8 4 times. Same answers, different methods. And the last one, We've got 56 over 72. So here I'm just going to divide by 2. So 56 divided by 2 gives me 28. 72 divided by 2 gives me 36. Again, they're both even numbers. Remember, even numbers can always be divided by 2. So I'm going to divide by 2 again. 28 divided by 2 gives me 14. 36 divided by 2 gives me 18. Once again, they are both even numbers, so again I'm going to divide by 2. 14 divided by 2 gives me 7. 18 divided by 2 gives me 9. So this we did in 3 steps, alright? You can do it in 1 step if we divided this by 8. 8 can go into both of those numbers, so you would have gone straight from there to the last step. Either way is correct, whether you want to do it in fewer steps or more steps. I don't mind as long as you get to the correct answer. So this is the end of the first part of this lesson. In the second part, we will be going through equivalent fractions.